Let's look at how easy it is to operate the embroidery side of the Sapphire 85. I've got 40 weight rayon on the top, 60 weight bobbin fill in the bobbin, a new embroidery needle and the sensor Q foot fitted. We have a variety of hoops with the machine, 200 by 360 millimeters, 200 by 260 millimeters, and 120 by 120 millimeters, which I've hooped with fabric and stabilizer. There are a couple of ways to get into embroidery mode, either using the hoop icon at the top or with the Joy of Sewing Advisor. So if I pick embroidery and start new, we'll have a blank edit screen, and it's gone into the first menu, which is signature designs here. But there are lots of other menus with different themes. I'm just going to make that full screen. So you can scroll through and pick which menu you want to work from. So for instance, this is children's. One's in collections that you can combine, so for instance these three go together. Quilting, borders and frames, holidays or mainly Christmas, lace, there's all sorts of things in there. But I'm going to use a design from the signature menu. Make those bigger so we can see a bit better. This is my favourite. That goes in the 350 by 360 millimeter hoop, which is an extra. So I can pinch and expand the screen. But I'm going to pick this one. Now that's loaded, we need to change the hoop size. Just give me a second. That needs to be changed to 120 by 120 millimeters, and I can drag the design around the screen to position. I can rotate it. Oops, that moved it. There we go. I can rotate it with my finger, with the arrows. That's back where it started, or 90 degrees at a time with the button in the centre. I can scale it 20% larger or smaller and go back to the original size. And I can pan, so move the view rather than the design. You see all that's moving together with the hoop and everything. So everything's now censored. We've also got the smart toolbox. If I press and hold, icons appear for duplicate, mirror image and delete. I'm just going to duplicate again. Oops. Notice if I drag this outside the hoop, the perimeter goes red. It's not allowed. So if I now start to move these around, you can see yellow guides appear to show when designs are lined up or centered with each other to make placement easy. So I'm going to bring this one, nope, wrong way, bring that up. See, I've got my yellow guide showing me those are level. And that one as well. So it makes it easy to line them all up. So now I'm going to arrange these how I want. I can drag them and rotate them. So you see I'm selecting each one first and then moving it around with my finger. Not quite right yet. Let's give that a little bit of a move. No, still not quite there. I'm going to fine tune it with the arrows here. And I can also zoom in to be really precise. Look at the detail on that. And then when I've got them where I want them, in the Arrange tab, these are our 3 designs, I can select them all and group them together. So we can now manipulate them as one. That's centered again. So I can flip them. If I move them outside the hoop area, oh, wrong button, I've duplicated them. I need to take one of those out. That's it. If you move it outside of the hoop area, you can use the move into hoop icon to bring it back in and center again. So I'm just going to ungroup all those and clear them from the screen. We can change the background of our screen. You get the choice of 24 background colours, so you can see what your design might look like on a specific fabric or garment. And if we press and hold the grid icon, we can choose our grid size as well. That's an imperial or metric measurements. And when we're done, press the tick. Now I don't need red as a background. I'm going to change that back. And now we're going to look at another feature called design shaping. Lets you arrange designs in a specific shape, and we've got lots of choice of shapes here. I'm going to go for, let's say, the square, and I want that approximately 100 millimeters square. The measurements are down here. So I can just drag the corner and watch the measurements change, or I can click on the measurement box and type in the size I actually want. Then you need to go to the design or the inbuilt stitch menu. This really works best with small designs, so I'm selecting menu N. And I'm going to go for this flower. So that's just put us a single one in there. We now need to set the number of repeats. So click on this box here. Again, you can type in the number that you want. And it arranges the set number of designs evenly. When you're happy, all you need to do is press the tick to complete. Okay. Now I can also change the colour. If I select the first design, so all purple at the moment, you can select all the same colour if you want, but I'm just going to change one. Select the colour wheel and touch the colour you would like. We can change the colour further using the slider at the bottom. The one at the side is monochrome. When you're happy, press the tick and you can see the colour has changed. And if we minimise away that list of colours, you can see only the one we've changed is shown on screen. The rest are greyed out as they are a different colour, and we have the blue selected at the moment. So I'm going to delete all that now. There we go. So press the delete. I'm just going to make sure all the colours are gone. Yeah, that's all clear. Just make sure I've not got anything hiding in the background. No designs in there. So there are a number of built-in fonts accessed from the A tab. These are the ones from the sewing side of your machine. and there are 8 more embroidery fonts in various different sizes. All of those can be used in the hoop. Plus, with the complementary software, you can generate your own from fonts on your computer. The sizes are displayed down the right hand side here, and I'm going to select Swirl 40 and an L for Louise. I'm not going to do a big embroidery. Of course, you've got lowercase numbers and symbols as well if you need them, but just press the tick when complete and minimise that menu out of the way. That's the design centered. And we're going to change the thread colour. I think it'd be a good idea to make that a blue to match my thread. I'm going for that colour. That's it. So now we're ready to stitch out. So press go. And we get the stitch out screen. It confirms the stitch plate and hoop, the foot, and then settings for things like the cutter, basting, how you want it to baste your fabric down, and how you want the colours to work, whether you're going to stitch in monochrome or whether you want to group things together. Once you're happy, press continue, and now it asks you to insert the hoop. If you haven't got the right hoop selected, this won't work on, you know, if it's the one on the screen. So it stops you trying to sew a large design in a small hoop, which is quite a good thing. So push it in until it clicks. We've got a line drawn on that fabric so that we're going to line our design up on that precisely. So just press the tick. That's accepted the hoop. Minimise that out of the way. Now we're going to position the design right on that line using design positioning. We have 4 steps. We also have some shortcuts to get to different places on the design. So we've got all 4 corners, and we've also got a centre point. I'll just run through those so you can see. Okay. I'm going to go for the first point in our design on step 1, and that's going to be the bottom left. Up here, and then for step 2 we're actually going to place that on the fabric now. So I can drag the design on the screen and the hoop will move with it. I get it somewhere close by eye, and then drop the needle by turning the hand wheel gently just to see how close I am with the actual needle, and I can nudge it with the arrows. Just make sure your needle's back up again. You can even zoom in. Any movements you make when you're zoomed in are much smaller. When I'm happy, make sure the needle is up and zoom back out again. So that point is now fixed. So on to step 3. I'm going to pick another point in the design, bottom right this time. Because we fixed the first point in steps 1 and 2, the second point will rotate around the first one. So step 4 is put this second point on the fabric. And if I drag it on the screen, you can see it pivots around the first point and the hoop is moving with it. So again, I get it close by eye and manually drop the needle. Actually, that's spot on. So I press the tick. You can still use the arrows and zoom in if you need to, but I was lucky there. Design positioning lets you actually accurately match up multi-hoop designs as well. That's what it's really for. I'm just going to turn the lighting up. It's been turned down from the camera, but you'll be able to see a bit better while it's stitching out. Okay. And press start. So I'm just going to stop it so you can see our embroidery is perfectly lined up with the line I drew on the fabric. Can you tell design positioning is my favourite thing? Now if you have a big design, you may not be able to stitch it all in one go. You may want to switch off and come back to it later. So Smart Save makes sure that your machine remembers where you were and saves all your settings as well, so you can start where you left off. So I'm going to do a Smart Save. There we go. Do I want to do a Smart Save and overwrite the previous one? Yes please. I'm going to cut the thread and turn the machine off. This is great if you have a power cut. It saves about every 200 stitches. So we'll turn it back on. Just give it a moment to boot up. Hopefully not too much longer. There we go. So it says it was turned off unexpectedly. Do I want to resume? If you don't get that message, you may have shut it down properly, unlike me. This icon at the bottom of the home screen will load everything back up. So yes, I do want to resume. It now wants me to take the hoop off while it calibrates. So press go. Yeah. So that makes sure everything is in the same place again. Back it comes, and the hoop back on. And we're in exactly the same place again, so we'll let it finish. See, the little red cross on the screen shows you where it's actually stitching, whereabouts in the design it actually is. That's it. So we can remove the hoop, just trim that thread end. Now I've caught that and pulled it. I'll just show you. Can you see there's a little gap there where I pulled it? I'm going to just go back and stitch over that little bit. So I'm going to pop the hoop back on. And I'm going to step through the design to roughly the point where that is. I can actually go to a stitch number, so I'm going to do that. Well, that was a good guess. We got somewhere near, I think. Yeah, I'm happy with that. That looks okay, so I'm just going to press go and do a few stitches to close up that gap. Sometimes quite good when it goes a little bit wrong, because then you can actually show people how to put it right. Okay, there we are, successfully mended. So that's the Designer Sapphire 85. Thank you for watching.
If you would like any further information about the machine, please do get in touch. You can visit our website where you'll be able to find your local dealer, who will also be able to help you with any more information you need.